Unit 3.
Hello again. Here we are, ready to listen to some more important phrases. How did you get into advertising? I went to comprehensive school. When I was 16, I looked for a job. I was lucky. I finished school at 16 too. On my first job, I was an apprentice. We had vocational school 2 afternoons a week. I took a business course. It was a part-time course. I went back to school full-time. That was the problem. I applied and got the job. So what did you do? You sound as if you like it. It's just the right combination. It takes some luck too. Now it's your turn to listen and repeat the phrases. That sounded fine. Let's join our friends again. Liz and Wolf are getting to know each other better. They're talking about where they went to school and how they trained for their jobs. First, listen.
Dialogue.
Liz, how did you actually get into advertising? I mean, it's not the sort of thing most people really know much about.
I didn't know much about it at first either, to tell you the truth. I went to the comprehensive school nearest my home, outside Scarborough, and then, when I was 16, I looked for a job.
Straight out of school? With no training?
That's not too unusual here. You learn on the job. Anyway, I was lucky, and I got an office job in York. It's hard to get a job in my area, and York is much bigger, of course. And I could live with my aunt.
I finished school at 16 too, but the computer company I worked for at first officially trained me as an apprentice. We had vocational school 2 afternoons a week.
I didn't have any job training at first, but the company happened to be an advertising firm. I just did typing and filing. But it looked to me as if working with the customers would be a lot of fun. So I took a business course with the Open University. It was part-time, of course, and a lot of the work could be done at home. Classes were in the evening or at the weekends.
That must have been tough, working and studying. When I finished my first training, my apprenticeship, I decided I wanted a better qualification too. But I went back to school full-time for 2 years. I still lived at home with my parents. How did you get from York to here?
That was a problem. The York firm wasn't very big, and they really didn't have an opening for someone with my qualification. They had enough people doing what I wanted to do.
That's the problem with smaller companies, isn't it? It's a pity, because you do often feel more at home in a smaller firm.
That was exactly the problem. I liked the people there, but I didn't want to keep on typing all my life. In the end, a customer of ours had just bought a small software company. Their advertising was done by the firm here, and he knew they were expanding. I applied and got the job I have now. I've been here for 2 years now, and I really like it.
That was lucky. I went back to my first firm after I got my advanced technician certificate, but the job was completely technical. I never had contact with the customers, and I certainly never got a chance to travel on the job.
So what did you do?
I just kept reading the advertisements in the newspapers and in the computer magazines. I applied for several jobs and got this one. By then I had some job experience, of course.
And you sound as if you like it.
I really do. It's just the right combination of computer technology, contact with people, and traveling for me.
It's certainly worth it to get the higher job qualification and to keep looking for the right job. But it takes some luck too, especially nowadays.
You're certainly right about that.
Please go back to the beginning and repeat the dialogue phrase for phrase. Listen and repeat.
Exercise 1.
Well done. Wolf and Liz are talking about things that are finished now, about their schooling and training. Listen to these 2 examples. What kind of school did Liz go to?
Comprehensive school.
She went to a comprehensive school.
She went to a comprehensive school.
She went to a comprehensive school.
What did she do when she was 16?
Job.
She looked for a job.
She looked for a job.
She looked for a job.
All right. Now it's your turn. If you can't remember what Liz and Wolf said, go back to the dialogue track on the CD and listen to it again. And, of course, if you need time to think, press the pause button on your CD player. What kind of school did Liz go to?
Comprehensive school.
She went to a comprehensive school.
What did she do when she was 16?
Job.
She looked for a job.
And where did she find one?
York.
She found one in York.
Where did she do a business course?
Open University.
She did a business course with the Open University.
And what about Wolf? What did he decide when he finished his apprenticeship?
Their qualification.
He decided he wanted a better qualification.
So what did he do?
School full-time.
he went back to school full-time.
Where did he live then?
Parents.
He lived at home with his parents.
When he first went back to work, did he get a chance to travel on the job?
Never.
No, he never got a chance to travel on the job.
How did he get the job he has now?
Read an advertisement and apply.
He read an advertisement and applied for it.
Exercise 2.
Fine. Now explain some of the differences between the way Liz and Wolf did things. First, listen to these examples. Liz went into advertising. What about Wolf?
Computers.
He didn't go into advertising, he went into computers.
He didn't go into advertising. He went into computers.
He didn't go into advertising, he went into computers.
Wolf finished school at 16. And Liz?
2.
She finished school at 16 too.
She finished school at 16 too.
She finished school at 16 too.
Now it's your turn. Liz went into advertising. What about Wolf?
Computers.
He didn't go into advertising, he went into computers.
Wolf finished school at 16. And Liz?
2.
She finished school at 16 too.
Liz got an office job. And Wolf?
Technical job.
Wolf didn't get an office job, he got a technical job.
When he got his first job, Wolf lived at home with his parents. What about Liz?
Her aunt.
Liz didn't live at home with her parents, she lived with her aunt.
Wolf had vocational school 2 afternoons a week. What about Liz?
Learn on the job.
Liz didn't have vocational school, she learnt on the job.
Liz got a better qualification. And Wolf?
2.
Wolf got a better qualification too.
Liz took a part-time course. Did Wolf as well?
School, full-time.
Wolf didn't take a part-time course. He went back to school full-time.
Wolf applied for the job he has now. What about Liz?
2.
Liz applied for the job she has now too.
But Liz knew a customer who helped her. What about Wolf?
Read an advertisement.
Wolf didn't know a customer who helped him. He read an advertisement.
Exercise 3.
Well done. Did you notice in the dialogue that Liz and Wolf used words like bigger, better, and higher to compare things? Listen to the examples first. York is near Liz's home. Or is it Scarborough?
I'm quite sure Scarborough is nearer Liz's home.
I'm quite sure Scarborough is nearer Liz's home.
I'm quite sure Scarborough is nearer Liz's home.
Scarborough is a big city. Or do I mean York?
I'm quite sure York is the bigger city.
I'm quite sure York is the bigger city.
I'm quite sure York is the bigger city.
They really are rather muddled. Can you help out politely? York is near Liz's home. Or is it Scarborough?
I'm quite sure Scarborough is nearer Liz's home.
Scarborough is a big city. Or do I mean York?
I'm quite sure York is the bigger city.
Liz's first firm was a small one. Or is it the present company?
I'm quite sure Liz's first firm was the smaller one.
Wolf's job is a rather technical one. Or is it Liz's?
I'm quite sure Wolf's job is the more technical one.
Liz's present job is a good one. And her first job?
I'm quite sure Liz's present job is the better one.
Wolf's apprenticeship sounds interesting. And his present job?
I'm quite sure Wolf's present job is the more interesting one.
I can't remember. Does Wolf prefer a traditional or a modern coffee shop?
I'm quite sure Wolf prefers a more traditional coffee shop.
Tom went to university for 4 years for his job qualification. But Liz has a high qualification now too.
I'm quite sure Tom's qualification is the higher one.
Learning English is difficult. How would Japanese be?
I'm quite sure learning Japanese would be more difficult.
Let's stay with English. See you in Unit 4.